The show starts off with a young boy, Morisato, waking up to his auto club activities. Since they are tight on budget, they have to spend the entire day doing a workout, and he doesn't have any choice when it comes to neglecting his activities, as his president keeps a closer eye on him. After working out tirelessly all day, he heads off to his room and turns on the TV. Besides the usual weather and horoscope news, there isn't much else to offer, and he decides to get some rest. He is late for school, and after he gets ready, he finds that his motorbike has a fault. Once he fixes it and is on his way to school, Morisato reveals that the entire reason he bought the motorbike was to impress his crush, and from that day onward he has promised himself to change his entire personality and say goodbye to his old self. As he arrives there, Morisato asks his teacher Miss Mishima out on a date, but instead of being met with grace, the other mocks him for being short and instructs that he better gain an inch or two before even thinking about her. The poor guy's heart shatters in two and Morisato heads off to the class. Since he isn't paying attention to the class, the professor instructs him to explain everything they just studied. Though Morisato gets lucky as the bell rings, he lets out a sigh of relief since the class is over. Before he could leave the class though, his seniors from Auto Club, Den and Dai, visited him to inform him about their plans for fundraising. Morisato wants to take his next class, but the other reminds him that he should be grateful since they once helped him out and now it's his turn to return the favor. They forcefully take him away, and as they are doing the parades to find clients and make more money, all the girls mock them for being pathetic, and one of them reveals that a weird girl is also in their club. The group eventually finds someone with a faulty bike, and Den decides to fix it. Morisato is impressed with his work, and as he is asking the others to pay up the price, he escapes on the bike. Since they don't have any means of chasing him on their own, they instruct Morisato to take up this task, and he follows the other with him. I can't even begin to describe this masterpiece of a creation. Since the other is way up ahead, Morisato decides to take a shortcut, and after causing chaos in various buildings, he finally manages to catch up with the thief. After making him pay, he is about to celebrate his little victory when the girls from various clubs show up and demand that he fix everything up since he tore everything apart while riding his magnificent bike. After he is done with everything, Den and Dai have even taken his little money, leaving him with nothing but lingering thoughts of him spending his free time with his crush, Miss Mishima. However, he soon snaps back to reality and heads to his room. As he opens it, he is surprised by the visit of his club members, and they reveal that they are planning on going out. Morisato gets excited since they have never been out together, but the other spills hot lava on his dreams as they instruct him to remain here since one of them will need to keep an eye on their base, making sure it is clean all the time. Morisato has no choice but to agree with this, and after they leave, he takes up the duty of cleaning the clothes in the base. However, he isn't bothered that the others didn't take him and spend his time like usual. He is also tasked by another senior and clubmate, Aoyama, to answer a call at a specific time. As he awaits the call, he decides to play a game, almost falling asleep during the process. As he wakes up and notices the return date on the game's CD, he immediately heads outside to return it. Luck just isn't on his side today, and he is met by a small accident. As he continues running, he eventually comes across a lost girl, and since he doesn't want her to continue roaming the city like this, he decides to help her. The little girl explains that she was out shopping, but lost her mother's wallet. As she is crying, Morisato assures her things will work out, and the two search up the entire street. Eventually, the shopkeeper informs her that she left it there, and he leaves her as the time for receiving a call from Aoyama is near. He barely manages to return to his room and answer the call. After being done with it, he awaits another task where he is instructed to reach up to a certain number. As he dials the number, the other person informs him that she is the goddess, and he decides to hang up since he thinks it's the wrong number. Soon, a magical circle manifests behind him, and out comes a pretty woman. The lady reveals herself to be the goddess Belle Dandy and informs him that she helps needy people such as him. This was a once-in-a-lifetime meeting for Morisato, and he was terrified. Morisato is still processing what is going on, but since there is a remote chance that this isn't a scam, he realizes he should hear her out. Belle Dandy informs him that the heavens have been looking out for him and have come to the conclusion that ill fortune has been stuck with him for too long now, and they must remove it. She is impressed with his patience and the fortitude to bear misfortune and comments on how kind he is for helping anyone he comes across. Belle Dandy instructs him to make a wish and assures him that whatever he desires will be fulfilled. Hearing this, Morisato gets skeptical of her and thinks that it is some kind of a scam. Though he is desperate, he still reveals that he has multiple reasons to use a wish. The goddess realizes that he has some inferiority complex and tells him that he shouldn't let his materials define his worth. Rather, it should be his good character and kindness. Hearing her say this, Morisato begins to fall for her and reveals that if there is only one wish, then he wants the goddess to be on his side through thick and thin. A great light ascends from the goddess's body, implying that her divinity status has been removed, and Morisato saves her from falling down. Belldandy is skeptical whether the wish was fulfilled, and after contacting the heavens through his phone, she is assured that now she will spend the rest of her life by Morisato's side. While she is feeling somewhat conflicted, Morisato is excited about his new life with a pretty girl on his side. Although he quickly returns to reality after realizing that now he will have to manage the finances and everything for the two. Since their dorm has the strict rule of allowing only males to spend the night there, Morisato quickly instructs her to hide or go someplace else for tonight. However, Belldandy cannot do that since the two are bound together by the system force, due to which they cannot be separated. As they are chatting, Morisato's seniors hear a voice and barge into his room. They are astonished that he sneaks a girl into their dorm and kicks him out. With no choice left, he returns to his motorbike to head someplace else. As they leave, Den and Dai are proud of him for pulling a girl and wish the best fortunes for his life ahead. Morisato heads toward his classmate's place, where they play some games, and after Morisato wins all of them, they kick him out. Afterward, he makes his way to Hasegawa's place to ask her about spending the night at her place. Hasegawa only allows Belldandy to stay in her room, but the other informs him that the two cannot be separated, and system force will come into play, making his life miserable. With nowhere left to go, the two eventually head to a park-like area, and Belldandy is amazed at how beautiful everything looks. Morisato assures her that it is even better when there are people around and promises to give her a tour in the morning. Eventually, they decide to spend the chilly night in the back of a car. As Belldandy gazes upon the gleaming skies, forbearing the multitude of stars, she wonders whether this world has a sight prettier than this to offer. Since she doesn't know much about Morisato, she asks him to explain everything. The lonely, solemn nights have turned into blossomed cherries for Morisato, and he explains everything about himself and his family to the goddess. Morisato didn't get any sleep last night, thanks to Belldandy's obsession with counting the sheep until the morning. When she sneaks in on him just as he is about to wash his face, he is astonished by her energetic charisma. Morisato begins to feel that maybe he needs to tell her that humans do need sleep to take care of themselves. But before they discuss this, he needs to take care of something else. As the two are out, Morisato realizes that he doesn't have enough money to book a room or get into a new apartment. Belldandy realizes that she needs to help him and casts out a spell so secret help can find their way. The two are suddenly greeted by the lost girl from before, and her mother offers them food to show her gratitude. Due to Belldandy's dress, she stands out too much in public, and Morisato advises that she wears something else. Belldandy uses magic right then and there to change her attire, attracting the eyes of everyone. Morisato is forced to retreat and instructs her never to use magic again as it will cause a huge uproar. After checking out various apartments, each of them was out of his budget, and Belldandy uses magic to find their perfect destination. It guides them to a temple, and as Morisato is about to pick up his money back, the monk mistakes him for a burglar and knocks him out. After he wakes up, Morisato gets flustered upon the realization that he was sleeping in Belldandy's lap the entire time. The monk, Osho, enters the room and apologizes for his blunder. He returns the money and provides the two with a roof over their heads for a night. However, he also sets a condition that the two must work hard to clean the temple and repair it wherever it's damaged. After taking the job, Morisato instantly starts regretting it as it makes him severely tired. On the other hand, Belldandy has been quite enthusiastic about this, and while she is cleaning the statue of Buddha, Osho notices the aura she's radiating. He is amazed at the glimmering light and wonders whether she has attained nirvana. At night, Osho keeps a close eye on her, thinking that she will make a move or two. As he falls asleep, Belldandy gets up and uses her guardian angel, Holy Bell, to sing and repair the temple to its former glory. Seeing this, Osho sets out to leave in the morning since he feels that he needs to journey the world to attain nirvana. Morisato doesn't get the reason he is leaving, and Belldandy explains that it was probably a misunderstanding, that he believed that she is an enlightened person, completely neglecting that she could be a holy being. Though the two are now left with taking care of the temple for days ahead, they decide to settle there. After they head off to go shopping, Morisato realizes that Belldandy loves tea and promises to buy her a full tea set. The following morning, Belldandy makes breakfast for Morisato, and as he is about to make his way to the university, she decides to go along as well. Mishima arrives at the university and is asked for a date by various students and professors, though she doesn't heed them much. Suddenly, the crowd's attention is caught by someone else, and as she looks behind, she finds Morisato with another girl. In the classroom, Mishima forcefully sits between the two, not wanting them to shine. The professor asks about Belle Dandy, and the whole class convinces him that she is an exchange student. Since Mishima is sitting between the two, Morisato fears that the system force will kick in and make a scene in the classroom, but luckily it doesn't. On the other hand, Mishima is jealous of Belle Dandy and asks the professors to investigate her. Den and Dai inform Morisato about this, and the three hack into the university's portal to edit and insert Belle Dandy's data into it. Mishima is enraged that she is getting away with this and tries to separate them, but is always met with the system force putting her in various situations. After school is over, she gives a ride to Morisato, and Belle Dandy gives him permission since the force won't attack them as long as she doesn't have malicious intent. However, Mishima does reveal her cruel intentions of separating them when she asks Morisato to go out with her. He realizes her play and informs her about the time she rejected him. Belle Dandy is worried that the system might bring harm to them, but her worries are relieved when she finds out Morisato took good care of the situation. At night, Mishima is pondering Morisato's rejection when she hears someone on the door, and as she opens it, the whole auto club is there ready for dinner. Morisato and Belle Dandy arrive at the university, but the former has forgotten his materials for the presentation at home, and the other magically teleports there to fetch them. Everyone is surprised at seeing him alone and makes assumptions that he got dumped. Den and Dai mistakenly assume that he is having a child and decide to come up with a name. Mishima sees him sitting alone, and he assures her that she just went back home. Mishima is greatly taken aback at learning that they live together and tries to question their relationship. Morisato convinces her that they haven't gotten that far, though he is planning on confessing his love soon. Mishima advises him regarding how girls want the confession to be and goes her way. Belle Dandy returns, and after going to class, Morisato just can't stop thinking about her. Upon returning home, he fears that he will get rejected, but he still musters up the courage to profess his love. He reads a book about interactions and concludes that he has to create the sort of environment and atmosphere for his ultimate confession. Belle Dandy is surprised by a series of actions and thinks he is weird. After she confirms that she can no longer read the other's mind effectively, Morisato is relieved since it would have spoiled everything if that wasn't the case. As he is about to confess to her, Belle Dandy notices his rise in temperature and quickly takes him to bed, thinking that he isn't feeling well. As he is about to pass out from her restful magic, he hints about his feelings towards her, and the other immediately understands them. Belle Dandy has come to the realization that now her heart believes that they are more than bound by the contract. The two wake up to find that they are short on food and have no money left. Morisato is convinced that he can go a day without food and informs the other about the pay he will receive tomorrow. However, Belle Dandy insists that she cooks something today and casts out magic. Suddenly, they have a guest at their door, and when she is welcomed in, Morisato is surprised that his kid sister, Megumi, is here for college. The other informs him that she convinced their parents to get admitted into college here. She has packed a bunch of veggies with her, and the two are so glad that she found their house. After they eat, Belle Dandy explains everything about their relationship, and Morisato asks his sister to find an apartment. Seeing the stress on Belle Dandy's face in the middle of the night, Megumi assures her that she was thinking of finding a separate one anyway, as she doesn't want to be a nuisance to her brother. The following day, the three set out to find an apartment for Megumi, but her budget is too low and they are declined at multiple places. Seeing the worry on their faces, Belle Dandy uses magic again, and they eventually find a place that is cheap. Though once they enter her room, Belle Dandy realizes that something is wrong here, and they are met up with a creepy chill very soon. The ghost is revealed to be an earth spirit whose powers were weakened thanks to a stake damaging the earth's power line. Once Belle Dandy helps him regain his power, the other promises to continue helping people and looking out for the needy ones. After he leaves, Megumi enters, and when they ask her about the college she will be attending, Morisato is astonished to find that she will be his junior. Another chaos in his life. What more does life hold for Morisato and the crew? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments, and I guess we'll find out in the next episodes. If you enjoyed our recap as much as we did, drop us a like and subscribe to Annie Recapped to find more awesome animes like this to watch on your feed. Peace!